Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who tries to use their victimhood or something bad that's happened to them in their lives or something that's happening in a moment, and they use the victimhood of that as proof for why their argument should not be challenged and or why their premise should be accepted? This is a common fallacy. It's a combination fallacy called the victim profit fallacy. You're a victim, and because of that, anything you propose must be true and it must be accepted. This is bullshit, and I'm gonna tell you how to catch it. Let me give you an example. So this is a combination of the appeal to emotion fallacy, where you appeal to people's emotions rather than in their logic, and the false cause fallacy. In other words, you say something happened, and instead of pointing to what actually caused it, you point to something else for causing it and put the blame on something that's not even a real thing, so that you don't have to take responsibility usually. So an example would be if somebody says something like, "You don't understand my position because I've struggled my whole life dealing with people like you or people who have opinions like you," and they use that to pull the rug out from under you. This is a form of emotional blackmail in order to get you to go along with them or to stop challenging whatever it is that they say. You'll often find this with people who have been victims their whole lives because they get really good at using this frame against people and using their emotions to overpower your logic in order to get their point to go through. Actually, you see this in society happening all the time with large groups of people that we're not going to get into here today. So what you can point out here is, first of all, when someone says, "I've been struggling my entire life," what they're doing is they're taking the leverage of their struggle, which may be real. Maybe they have been struggling. They're taking the leverage of that struggle and they're turning that into sympathy. When someone tells you they've been struggling their entire life, what the hell does that have to do with the point that they're talking about? Usually it has very little to do with it, but they're causing you to think about the fact that they've been struggling to create sympathy in you. And when you get sympathetic, you're more emotional, and emotion is not logic. That's how they overpower your logic. Then the other part is they say, "I've been struggling my entire life." They say, "I've been dealing with this all my life. I'm always dealing with stuff like this." What they're doing is juxtaposing their struggle with your lack of struggle, relatively speaking, as if you don't understand them or you can't understand them, or as if maybe people like you or people who think like you are the reason for their struggle, which again makes you guilty. And when you're guilty, what are you? Emotional. And when you're emotional, guess what? You're not. You're not logical. So all of this is created to take the emotion of the situation and turn the emotion into evidence, and they use that emotion as evidence against you to, again, blackmail you, pull the rug out from under you, and you can't make a logical argument because they turn the argument from logic into emotion. And people who have been victims their entire lives are experts at doing this. So you better be careful because they will use it against you, or they will at least try until or unless you can point it out at a level like this. You want to learn more about doing this and sharpening up your communication, which is just not just what you say, but also what you hear and how you respond to things that people say, especially when they try to use some bullshit on you like this one. Send me a text to the number in my bio, 305-384-6894 with the word presence. I'll show you how it's done. Work on your game.